It's Tracy back here on Girlfriend Quest. Hey, what's up? I'm here once again on our playthrough of Ace Attorney Chronological. Starting with this game, the earliest chronological point in the series, Ace Attorney, the Great Ace Attorney, or the original Japanese, Daigakusen Saipan, as translated by Scarlet Study. I rewound the clock a little bit because I intended to go a bit longer last time, but I just could not get the streaming software to cooperate, and the 3DS kept crashing. So we're taking it from the top, as the stream title I wrote suggests, and I'm just going to start this big flashy Sherlock Holmes deduction from the beginning, I guess. If this has already crashed, I'll be extremely upset. If this has it seriously frozen the time it took me to set up, that would be so typical. I spent so long trying to get set up here, and if it just crashed immediately before I even got into it, that would be so typical. I would just have to be upset. Not really. There's more upsetting things in the world, but I'm just like, come on! I'm trying to put on a show for the people here. I know, right? He is stuck mid-deduction. He cannot escape the limbo. Yeah, that's the 3DS crashing. When my test for it is try hitting the power button. Does the thing completely crash instead of going to the turn off screen? It's a crash right there. So you all get to be in suspense while Sherlock stands here. This is why I decided to take it from the top, because we had so many crashings last time. It was a little bit intolerable. I was like, no, his flashy posing, it deserves to be its own unbroken thing. You know, the people deserve to see this man in action, in his element, because it really seems like it has the crashes had some specific vendetta to not allow Sherlock to speak. The game tried to process his deductions, and they were too great, too amazing, too bewildering, too beyond the scope of common sense for the game to handle it, and it simply had to crash to save itself. Robots, their downfall shall be the greater logic of Sherlock Holmes. For those of you just joining us, this is Daigakusen Saipan 1. Where we are playing through it is following the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, who's Phoenix Wright's ancestor, who's called Naruhodo something in the original Japanese. I've seen the anime, I know this. Anyway, but even in the anime, I think they still subtitle them with the English names. Just because I don't know, we've sold our the original Ace Attorney came out in the era of 4Kids, with when Yu-Gi-Oh was dubbing over and pretending oh, we're in America. Hello, that Junoichi, I've never met him. Here's my best friend Joey. Honda, more like Tristan. So it was just very much. I don't know. It feels like it's the same way, where it's everyone in the Ace Attorney series got themselves Americanized, but now it's here we are back in 100 years ago, and I mean, there's nothing that contradicts the canon. It's just that if it was still if we were still focusing on the national identity, this would be a no-go, but thankfully we're 100 years in the past anyway, so we are Japanese student Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Have we got our video stream going? That would be lovely if we did. We have frame rate. How about that? We have audio, we have video. We have audio and video on my end anyway. No, I mean... Although, I mean... okay... In terms, I acknowledge that not Sherlock Holmes, that Phoenix Wright doesn't go all the way with political commentary or anything. If Detective Gumshoe is propaganda, but I don't know. It's is this a game for children so much? Because there's a lot of death and murder and bloods in every one of these games, because you're solving murder mysteries. Da da da. It's frozen again! No, I'm there. No, this is. I'm just gonna do the thing like when you're in the 90s and you grab the TV antenna and you shift it around a lot, and you just try and find the one spot where you're getting reception. Also, for some okay. Oh my god! Yes, it snapped into place. Yes. Yes, sorry. My NTR viewer window thing is finally on the stream screen itself. Hello, people. We are back here. The position I'm holding it in is tenuously... I'm just going to sit the 3DS on my legs and sit cross-legged, because this is the exact position it needs to be held in. So I'm going to try and maintain this balance. So we shall maintain this stream for about as long as I can balance a 3DS on my leg to hold it in the perfect spot, a la the way you would a fucking TV antenna in the 90s. But look, the text box is animating, we have frame rate, Holmes is back, baby. See, we're into it now. I meant to open the stream from the top of the deduction section just so we could get into it and I wouldn't have to deal with more crashing like I was doing with the end of the last one where we were trying to do deduction, and it just ended up being complete crashing until... It's the way of it. Here we go. Now allow me to show you something. Something only a great detective can do. Our great detective's great deduction. As you can clearly see, here we have a classic, suspicious-looking Russian. Oh yeah, for those not in the initiative, there is... Okay, so this is like 100 years ago, and there's some tension between these people that haven't necessarily gotten familiar with every culture in the world. And Sherlock has some, extreme suspicion of Russians for some reason. I don't know. I mean, like, everyone in this ship is Russian, I think, so I don't know, he must just not get along with anyone. What? I'm sure that Sherlock's, I'm sure that Sherlock's, red, scarish aversion to Russians, won't impact his deductions whatsoever, and they will be pure logic, which is 100% accurate. Adjusting my auto here. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been tensions between countries before there was communism and capitalism, but it's just funny that it's like that's the classical East and West thing that just like, this is like before that. I don't know. But like, that's through my lens as a Western player playing this game, a non-Japanese player, and this game is only ever in Japan, so I don't know. Someone, you know, someone with more cultural relevance should write articles on this than me. Yeah, he did say that about revolution. I mean, there were revolutions anyway. Sometimes I wonder to myself. Revolutions happen sometimes, Alexis in the comments of the girlfriend quest account of this stream. Are suspicious looking people inherently Russian, or are Russian people inherently suspicious? Deeply circular, casting aspersions, and, you know, this is just gonna go great. I don't think that's the case, is Naruhodo. If I may add, Mr. Holmes, no matter how much the beard and dark glasses may seem to suggest, I'm not sure the grounds just outright label someone suspicious. Shh, be quiet now! There indeed was. Why do you look at me like this? I see. Yes, I understand now. What? Erica confirming for a quick looking up, there was indeed civil unrest and revolutionary action in Russia at this time. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't, because, I mean, you know, it's not like... Revolutions aren't just a thing that happens when the government gets overthrown. Revolutions tend to be going on for a while before that happens. But, I mean, God, I can't get into my extremely skewed and British-centric high school informed knowledge of European history right now. I've got a video game to play. Yeah, he's just got some vague suspicion he's using circular logic for deduction. Just come clear to me, it's no room for doubt. Now then, Mr. Violet, I've arrived at 2 conclusions. What do you mean? First conclusion number 1. I'm just going to go through this quickly because we got to get to that deduction before this fucking game crashes again. Your true identity. Simply put, you are a villain. You were just about to cut short something very important to you using those scissors. Am I mistaken? Ah. On to conclusion number 2. Sorry. At this very moment, you have been caught red-handed in the midst of a nefarious deed. By now you must be shaking under that beard, panicking over you've already been found out. Am I mistaken? Grr. Here it comes, Naruhodo, one of Mr. Holmes' great deductions. Great deductions? I hope it doesn't crash the game for a billionth time. Mr. Holmes has truly incredible talent. With only one look at a person, you can learn almost everything about them. How in the world? No way, that's impossible. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I've read that book countless times. I can't believe I'm about to hear one of his great deductions firsthand. Oh, truly, it's like a dream come true. I can't believe it. Mr. Royal just turned white as a sheet. Somehow it looks like those 2 conclusions hit the mark. How? How could you possibly know that? Is that what you're trying to say? Very well. It's all time to be revealed. Now, indeed, did this great detective come to 2 conclusions? Oh my god! It's frozen again! No! Unallowed! I didn't even get to the deduction! Not allowed. I'm shifting it around more. TV antenna technique activate. No. There we go. Shifting it to the other leg. Pro hack for making your 3DS not crash. Balance, just alternate positions of your body you balance it on. Have it connect properly. Oh gosh. Handheld Wi-Fi is a very underwhelming thing. I'm sure the Switch wouldn't have this problem. Clap your hands to make the stream not crash. Indeed, it's great to try to write its 2 conclusions. Come along now, shall we embark again on a stern introduction? What I mean to say is I'm asking you to tag along with my reasoning. The game is afoot. Identity! Alright, here's the logic. Now what he's gonna do... Behold Mr. Violet, a mysterious Russian. First let me draw your eyes towards this. So what's gonna happen here is Sherlock's gonna go off on one and give his thoughts on the situation, and then afterwards we're gonna come in and give our thoughts on the situation. It's not a trial, this is our substitute for a trial, it's matching wits with Sherlock Holmes for this case. Let's go. Behold Mr. Violet, the mysterious Russian. First let your eyes be drawn towards this. This oversized pair of scissors sticking out like a sore thumb. What's that in his other pocket? Now, just what in the devil are you planning to do with those? With just a little observation, the answer becomes obvious. You intend to cut your splendid beard with those scissors. Sorry, I drank tea on the line. You gotta drink tea to play this game. That's the rule. Continuing on. Now then, why would you have such an urgent need to cut off that magnificent, really real beard? Why, that too is quite obvious, and I have the evidence to back it up. Have a look at this morning's paper. It contains a rather intriguing article. In fact, it appears that you too have seen the article of which I speak. Surely you must understand by now. The article inside reveals your true identity. The newspaper's revolutionary article. Revolutionary Dmitry Demoglaski flees Russia, believed to be en route to Shanghai. As you can see, the picture clearly depicts that eye-catching beard of yours. Having seen the article, you plan to cut off that beard before the crew found you. However, since you have yet to do so, your true identity remains clear. He's fixating on the beard, but like, you're none other than the frightful revolutionary, Dmitri Demoglaski. That being said, I can't say I've ever heard of you. Listen, this is deduction. I saw a shady-looking Russian guy who's wanted for murder in the paper this morning, and having seen a Russian man with a beard, I'm going to assume that's the same guy. Deduction! Now we have my second deduction. It seems to me we have caught you in the act of committing a terrible crime. Yeah, that is clear. Like, look at this man here, and look at, like, the... Like, I think I pulled it up sarcastically when I was talking last time, but just, like, I'm just gonna zoom in here. It'll be a little bit of explanatory text. This article is in Russian. I can't read it at all. Me neither. I don't speak a lick of Russian. I'm disappointed in you two. Allow me. The front page of this paper features an article about a frightening man. Revolutionaries release of Russia believed to be en route to Shanghai. Yeah, she mentioned that earlier. It said that none who have seen that beard of his have returned alive. My, how awful. At the very least, whoever took this picture was just fine. Look, it still doesn't look anything like him. Like, his face is so squeezed and, like, his nose is different and just, like... like, what are you talking about, Holmes? It's not even... Oh my god. If it's really so averse to the beard being seen, you should just shave it off! I don't think that's the issue here. Okay, here's a theory. As a face-blind person, here's my theory. Holmes is blind. Face blind, as I am. I.e. unable to distinguish faces clearly through features and whatnot of people. And instead going off of entirely exterior clues such as beard and clothing. And he's just such a good detective that he hasn't realized he's face blind. That's the only explanation I can get for how you can go like, oh look, that guy has a beard, this guy has a beard, it's the same guy! Anyway. Back to this amazing deduction. We need to get into this, you know. It seems to me we have caught you in the act of committing a terrible crime. Now, as for the proof of that crime. Aha! It's right over there, is it not? As I expected, it appears that you have shown your hand, Mr. Roylott. When people are taken by surprise, they tend to reflectively shift their gaze. It's a classic tale more eloquent and powerful than mere words could ever convey. Yes, our answer lies directly in your line of sight, so carelessly directed. The proof of your crime? Elementary. It's the trunk! I think it's about time you opened this trunk and showed us what's inside. No, I'm refusing. Exactly what have you been hiding in there? From what I can see. Were you to apply enough force, I think you'd be able to fit a small girl inside. That is silly. A young girl stuffed into a trunk. Just who might she be? Ah, good grief. You're not much of a criminal, are you? Your line of sight betrayed your secrets so easily. Just now. Do not freeze, Holmes. Do not freeze in the middle of this deduction. This is why I will eliminate you. Safety save. Christ. TV antenna searching for signal technique activate. Like, if this is just gonna crash every 15 minutes, it might not be viable to do this as a live stream. I might need to go with the, I mean, I would just go with the Let's Play model, if I knew I couldn't get like an error, you know, a comfortable error stream out of things. But like, I did have like a 3-hour stream the other day with this fucking game. It just cooperates when it wants to. Yeah, 3DS is utterly crashing. There we go. Okay, resetting that. Boop, boop, boop. This game, the ongoing joke with this game is just has to be, maybe it's the additional engine power, the camera sweeping around the room or something. But I'm going to just say the game doesn't like Holmes. I mean, it might actually be harder processing, to be honest. Like it's not just like the signal breaking down; it's the 3DS itself getting overloaded. I don't know. It is like some of the more visually impressive bits of the game. But I don't know if it's that. I mean, there's some scenes with like more NPCs. That's my deductions about the game itself crashing. There he is, that beautiful man, paused in mid-thought because his deductions, they're just too damn powerful for the 3DS to contain. We will get through this. I'm determined to get through this reasoning section at the very least on this stream because I mean, especially if like this is like the particularly hard part to stream where it's going to be like more crash prone, I might as well try and get through these sections in like one go or whatever. You know. Setting up. Yeah, I could believe it's for harder processing. Maybe when we get into the British court and there's like a big stack of jurors sitting there, it'll just like 3DS melt now. I don't know though. For the record, it isn't like this. I don't think it's anything much to do with like this being like a fan hack or like the Scarlet Study patch. This is just to do with my streaming software overloading the 3DS or whatever, or like, you know. It's just a thing. Alright. Moment of truth. Can we get the video stream going again? Please? We got audio. We have video loading in. There we go. Well, at least it didn't take too long to get back in. Let's go. Continue. And now it's actually the 3DS has managed to connect to the internet while sitting on my desk instead of being balanced on my legs, so hopefully this will be less temperamental. Just now, without a second thought, you took a glance at her answer. The way to get into character Sherlock Holmes, just be as much of an asshole as you possibly can. The reason you can't open that trunk can again be found in the newspaper. In truth, it seems there is yet another intriguing article published in these pages. Rather than looking at the article about the revolutionary, flip to the reverse page. Beautiful flyer of the prestigious Novovich ballet company goes missing. There's only one logical conclusion. The crime you are in the very midst of committing is abduction! According to that article, the girl's name is Nikoma Borchevich or something. Nikomina Borchevich. The crime! Conclusion: kidnapped ballerina! And there you have it. The great deductions of Sherlock Holmes have been revealed. Oh, okay. Sherlock finally got those deductions out. Now for us to sit with them and process them a little bit. Susato? Is that really a great deduction? I think so. I read all about them in his book. I thought his great deductions just now were a little different than usual. Never meet your hero, Susato. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Holmes, but could you come over here for a moment? I'm grabbing more tea out of my Now my laugh is free with the 3DS being balanced on it. I'm grabbing more tea, because you need tea to play this game. Both from a voice acting perspective and because, I don't know, Sherlock Holmes is here. You're going to England, you gotta drink tea. Alright. Ah, what can I do for you? I want to ask about your reasoning here. Reasoning there. Yes, yes, by all means, what's on your mind? Well, let me start with this newspaper. I didn't think I'd have to repeat myself, but here we are. These two men's faces are nothing alike! They look completely different! Thank you, Naruhodo! Oh my god, he's saying what we're all thinking! Oh my god, thank you, Naruhodo. You're grounding us so well right here. Oh, pointing at the obvious. Thank you. I didn't expect to repeat myself either, but here we are indeed! We're dealing with a revolutionary. Who's to say he didn't revolutionize his own face? At the very least, I suppose he looks more like the picture than you do, Naruhodo. That's not the point. Oh yeah, he did earlier say we're this guy. And besides that, there's something else. That bit about the deduction. Ah yes, truly a shocking turn of events, isn't it? At first glance, I wouldn't think that a girl could fit inside that trunk. Actually, it's worse than that. It's clearly way too small to fit a person inside at all. You'd barely be able to close it, even if you stuffed so much as a 5-year-old inside. In that case, could the missing ballerina be a 5-year-old? Oh, didn't you know? She's actually 15. No, no, Mr. Holmes, I had no idea. I don't read Russian. So she's 15, then roughly 10 years of her ought to be sticking out of that trunk. That's one way of doing the maths on it. There's something I once heard somewhere a long, long time ago. In order to make their bodies more limber, some ballerinas would drink vinegar every day. Vinegar? Really? Indeed, with a body ripened by vinegar, fitting into a box like that should be no trouble at all. I think you're just mixing up acrobats and ballet dancers. Ugh, this is such a mess. Naruhodo, about Mr. Holmes' reasoning just now. I think his observations are right on mark, at least at what the foundations of what happened. It's just the focal points and logic are a little bit off. This is just apologism for Sherlock here. Those are awful conclusions and reasoning. A little bit completely off, I'd say. You know what, I'm going to stop riffing on Sherlock, because apparently Naruhodo's going to do that enough on his own. He's got it handled. If we take the most important keywords from his reasoning, oh yes, a keyword-based mechanic, and just discreetly replace a few of them here and there, we might just figure this out. To take the keywords from his deductions and replace them, yes. Discreetly, mind you. If we do that, then surely Mr. Holmes' great deductions will truly come to light. Oh, indubitably! That's what I was thinking! Wow, this great detective's a real piece of work. Well, it seems you've got your work cut out for you. Thanks to me! You sure are laughing loud enough about it. Oh, and as for you, I almost forgot. Me? What is it? Take a look at your hands. My hands. Oh? Ah, the handcuffs are gone! What? This is... how did? I thought those cuffs might be in the way of your deductions, so I got them off in a jiffy. Huh? Amazing, I expect no less from the great detective Sherlock Holmes. Ah, there's no need to be worried. I'll put them back on once we're finished here. No, that's okay. You can leave them off. Now, why don't we give this another go? Come, one and all, to Sherlock Holmes' theatre of logic and reason. Oh my god, he might be a himbo. He sure does know his way around a set of handcuffs. Alright, let's do this. Reviewing the deductions. First, Mr. Roylott, mysterious Russian. Behold, Mr. Roylott, mysterious Russian. First, let your eyes be drawn towards this. This oversized pair of scissors, sticking out like a sore thumb. Now, just what in the devil were you planning to do with those? With just a little observation, the answer becomes obvious. You intend to cut off your splendid beard with those scissors. Splendid beard is the key word. Are those kind of scissors that you'd cut a beard with? I don't have any intention of growing a beard like that, so I don't really know. I think Mr. Roylott isn't so sure himself. In other words, this part of the deduction seems a little off. In that case, Anahoda, let's try replacing it with something else. Sounds good to me, but how should we go about doing that? First, let's stop and take a good look at Mr. Roylott himself. Is it really the beard that he wanted to cut off? There you go, that's a good question. Next, look for the answer. When you find it, when I find it, then the rest is in your hands. What exactly is she telling me to do? Okay, I'll give it a try. Time to replace this logic. What's Mr. Roylott really going to cut up with those scissors? Alright, so we're in a bit of a maybe a Mulan situation. Going by this pretty hair and cisgender writers' propensity for tropes. Anyway, let's do an examination. What? Suzuto, look at this! Oh my, what beautiful golden hair. No, I'm not talking about its beauty. Why is hair even growing here in the first place? Not only that, but it's coming out from underneath a bunch of thick black fur. It's very strange, and yet, it's also curiously beautiful. Something is clearly wrong here. Hair, how does that work? By the power of cisgender logic, I've solved this mystery. You intend to cut off your pretty hair with those scissors. Indubitably! That's what I meant to say! Holmes? Is that really what you meant to say? I know, right? I'm just like, this guy is like clearly like facing us off and like very cautious and like with the scissors and like keep the fuck away from me. I'm like, how did Naruhodo get behind this person to like see the hair? Anyway, that's what I meant to say. The JoJo mating ritual posing beautifully. Such beautiful golden locks can possibly belong to an old man. What are you talking? Have you not seen beautiful old men with beautiful golden locks? You're missing out, Holmes. Your bioessentialism must be defeated. Sherlock Holmes writes for Game Theorists. You're actually a woman, aren't you? And judging by your hair's sheen and my cisgender logic, you're clearly a young girl at that. As we all know, older women don't have shiny hair. If only I had the chance to cut my hair, then I would not be found out. Now then, why would you have had such an urgent need to cut that beautiful hair? That too is quite obvious, and I have the evidence to back it up. Surely you must understand by now. This article reveals your true identity. The newspaper's revolutionary article. Wow, I sure wasn't expecting that. I can't believe that old man was actually a little girl this whole time. I like that ellipses, like Suzuto's getting ideas like, should I be cross-dressing? Maybe in the next game. What is it? Why are you staring at me? Well, it was definitely shocking, but what's more surprising to me is how much you seem to enjoy this kind of thing. Huh? Despite your situation, you still ended up jumping around in glee. Oh, she's talking about the deductions themselves. And she was jumping around in glee, not me. It's just that I was only... Fine, I'll leave it at that. We're talking like making deductions with Holmes as him like trying out dating again after loss of his boyfriend or something. I don't know. And look at this. Think back to Mr. Holmes' logic earlier. That evidence he brought up seems a little strange now, doesn't it? It does. If Mr. Rolla is really a woman, then that means... This article about the revolution doesn't relate to the case anymore. And because of that, the flow of logic has changed course entirely. What does this mean for us? We should replace the evidence so it matches the flow of logic. For some reason, that girl needed to hide her true identity. And I feel like I heard something about a young girl not too long ago. Understood. Alright, I'll give it a shot. Maybe it's not the revolutionary article, but maybe it's another article. Wait, where'd the other article go? I thought I had another piece of evidence that when I examined this I got... Oh, maybe I didn't... Oh, I know what it is. It's because I loaded up a checkpoint to get to the Sherlock Holmes deduction faster earlier, so I'm just gonna like click on this real quick so we can reload our evidence here. Did you notice something there, Hodo? No, I was just wondering what this article on the back page was about. I haven't had slightest clue. I haven't read a single letter. I can't read it either, but judging from the feeling I'm getting from this photo, it looks like it might be some sort of beautiful ballerina. Yes, quite beautiful. But the kind of woman that strikes your fancy? I'm not sure how to respond to that because as I'm gay and as we previously learned, she's apparently 15. You're quite a discerning eye for that article to catch your attention. Geek. If I may allow me to explain what this article's about, please do. He just popped up out of nowhere. He's in my deduction box. This article is about a disappearance that occurred at some point last night. Beautiful thought, prestigious Novovich ballet company goes missing. I mean, it's a good thing to go over this evidence anyway, because it's very relevant. So, a lone girl was found missing during a ballet performance in Shanghai. It was a beautiful young ballerina named Nikomina Borshevich. It's hard to remember the names of Russian people. Okay. It says that she disappeared from her dressing room, still wearing her costume, which apparently includes a tiara set with gems valued at 20,000 rubles. How much money is 20,000 rubles? I wouldn't even be able to begin to guess, but surely it's more money than we could possibly dream of. Suzuto's eyes are shining. Yeah, when... The Suzuki Tiara is a property of the ballet, its owner is the brink of losing his mind. Well, I can't say I blame him. In order to retrieve both Mr. Mikumi and the Tiara, the ballet company is requesting search warrants for all vessels heading towards Britain. Should be suspecting as well? As it means affecting well, it seems affection's Russian speciality. No, Hodo, you shouldn't say things like that. Very rude. Okay, we got the missing ballerina article again. Sorry about that. That's my fault for using the checkpoint system, forgetting that I'd have to like recheck my evidence. But you know what? It's a good thing to remind myself because, I mean, it's good to have this piece of evidence, and it's also good to remember that there's a crown in here that's a factor. Yeah. I mean, I think we've, like, it's implied... No, I think there is implied that this ship has, like, stopped at some point. Like, we do, like, intermittently stop, like, to get supplies or something. I don't know. Actually, I haven't... I'll keep going for the case. We'll see. But let's present this. The missing ballerina article. Prepare for Holmes to take credit for this again. This article reveals your true identity. The newspaper's missing ballerina article. Indubitably, without a doubt, that must be it. Beautiful flower of the prestigious Novovich Ballet Company goes missing. I do believe that we are finally to call you by your real name. Your true identity is the ballerina from the Novovich Ballet Company. Don't fucking freeze right now. I'm doing a cool thing. Oh, pose. No, Nikomina Borshevich. Eek! Ah! Careful with the scissors. Removing the Santa Claus beard. It is as you say. My real name is Nikomina Borshevich. Please tell no one. Cross out defected revolution. Oh, hey, graphics, stop moving along here. The screen has frozen. Okay. It froze there for a second, but basically it changed it. It scored out the deduction of defected revolution and replaced it with defected ballerina. Next, we have my second deduction. It seems to me I've caught you in the act of committing a terrible crime. Now, as for the... Oh. It's... we got halfway through one deduction, and now it's already starting to freeze again. Safety save. I think there might be truth to the idea that, like, this game is more prone to, or rather, that while streaming this game, it's more prone to crashing for the Sherlock Holmes bits, so, yeah. Ugh. Oh. Hey, okay. For some reason that worked. I didn't need to completely reset the 3DS. Fan Dabby Dozy, let's... Come on, work with me here. You displayed the menu but not the game? I speak too soon when I say it's fine. Okay, now it's crashed properly, never mind. Whether you ignore them or pay attention to them, crashing on stream is just a fact of life. Like, the cops being bastards, I guess. Or capitalism being corrupt. Yeah, that's right, I'm political again. You know... frankly, Alexis wouldn't approve if I didn't put in a little bit of let my shit to every stream, no matter how much it's just me doing this kind of thing. Oh yeah. Come on, really, sort of me here. Yeah, so we've managed to make one deduction so far, which is that the shitty Russian guy was not a revolutionary, but was in fact the ballerina that was in the back cover of the newspaper. And considering that Sherlock's his second deduction was that this revolutionary man kidnapped the ballerina, I would think that's already completely overturning that conclusion. It's like, did you kidnap yourself? But like, let's try and figure out what's really going on, I guess. I mean, like, okay, Sherlock's definitely not a cop, but he definitely works with the cops. He's a police accomplice, you know? He's like a consultant that helps the police arrest people, and... I mean, the theoretical idea of Sherlock is that he's really perfect, and his deductions are really good, and everything about procedural things of, well, in the end we got the bad guy, it's okay. It's just like hyped up to 1,000,000 when it comes to any iteration of Sherlock Holmes, because like he's usually always right, which isn't how real police work. And like having him be like someone that's outside the police is one thing, you know. It's like, oh, all the police are bumbling fools, but like the problem with the police isn't just that they're bumbling fools. The problem is if they're forced and whatnot. But anyway, I'd say I don't know, in terms of like media analysis. I'll stay at the discourse of real life privatized, because I don't know, I'm sure there's some that don't work with the police, they do their own thing. What do I know about stuff? I don't want them investigating my secrets because I badmouthed private eyes as a whole. They're gonna find out about who I'm cheating on my wife with. I mean, I don't have a... I'm not legally married, but I mean, I think that's what they do, right? Just... it's rough. Anyway. As for the proof of that crime... Aha! It's right over there, is it not? As I expected, it appears you have shown your hand, Miss Nikomina. When people are taken by surprise, they tend to reflexively shift their gaze. It is a classic tale, more eloquent and powerful than mere words could convey. Yes, our answer lies directly in your line of sight. There's any light so carelessly directed. The proof of your crime. Elementary. It's that trunk. If that girl is actually the ballerina, then there's obviously no way she packed up that. She's packed up in that trunk right now. No, she's obviously. Naruhodo, Sherlock never makes bad deductions, so she's obviously both standing before us and inside the suitcase kidnapping herself at the same time, obviously. Right. In fact, the idea that she was abducted at all is now disputable. Then what exactly is this girl's actual crime? Looks like I have no choice. I'll have to take the stage again. Naruhodo, you're certainly enjoying all this, aren't you? Jumping around the room, enjoying Mr. Holmes and his theatrics must be thrilling. Please stop teasing me. Anyway, some other evidence that reveals her true crime must be here somewhere. Alright, let's look at her line of sight. What's she looking at, really? Oh, hello. I read about you recently, didn't I? This is a glittering tiara. I've never seen them in person, but these must be diamonds. Naruhodo, you should try it on. Huh? Why me? You're the girl here. Why don't you try on instead? Shut up, sis. Oh no, I couldn't. It's far too majestic for someone like me. Come to think of it, this gem-encrusted tiara seems familiar. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and recently at that. Very recently. Boom! I love that glass shattering effect. The proof of your crime? Elementary. It's that tiara. This must be the tiara used on stage by the Novovich Ballet Company, right? It bears a striking resemblance to the one you can see in this news article. According to the article, this tiara is valued at over 20,000 rubles. In other words, that would make the nature of your crime grand larceny. You pilfered that tiara from the ballet school you were a member of, didn't you? Eek! I am all alone. No allies, no friends. I am needing money to survive. But I did not steal tiara. That is not true. A Prussian earl gave it to me. It belongs to me now. A 15-year-old girl seeking asylum all on her own. I can't imagine how scared and alone she must feel. Are you happy? I have told you everything. I'm not sure if I agree with the decision to have her like speaking this like I don't know. It's whatever. Fine. I told you. Huh? There's still another mystery left to unravel. I do not understand. You have obstinately refused my request to have that trunk opened and examined. Surely you must have some sort of important reason to do so. Is that not the case, Miss Nikomina? I must keep secret from this man, you think to yourself, but it is futile! I've already found a way to infer the contents of that trunk, you see. What? He's still in the trunk. Ah, good grief. You're not much of a criminal, are you? Your line of sight betrays your secret so easily. Yes, the answer lies directly in your line of sight, so careless to direct it. Huh? The reason you can't allow us to open the trunk is written in the books on this shelf. Mr. Holmes' deduction has totally changed from what he was saying before. I assume he may have changed directions to take our new deductions into account. Even so, he just blurted out what it must be the books on the cabin shelf. That's nothing more than a random guess. It's painfully obvious. I wonder if that's really the case. I mean, no matter her reason is for refusing to or access to the trunk, how could it possibly be written anywhere in those books? It's too convenient. You may be right, but Nikomina did unmistakably steal a glance in that general direction. So you're saying the reason she refused to open the trunk lies somewhere within her line of sight this time too? Right, we need to make the same assumption this time around. Why don't she open that trunk? The answer to that question has to lie somewhere in her line of sight. What's she looking at? Maybe this. The SS Eau Claire's boarding regulations are written here. Do not store any dangerous things, such as weapons or animals, in the cabins. The same message was posted in our cabin. What do you think would happen to us if we broke these rules? Why, I'm sure it'd be something quite terrible. Such as being thrown overboard into the freezing cold ocean, or perhaps we might be confined inside some terribly narrow wardrobe. It's beginning to sound like I've been taking this punishment for quite a while. I don't think it's the door. I'm gonna go with this. Boop. The reason you can't allow us to open the trunk is written on the notice. Do not store any dangerous things such as weapons or animals in the cabins. Something inside that trunk is prohibited on this ship. Because of this, you cannot risk opening the trunk and allowing us to examine its contents. Ah. Earlier, we noticed that the trunk moved on its own. If you had a weapon hidden in there, that wouldn't explain the trunk's movement. And so only one possibility remains, Miss Nikomina, inside that trunk. You're harboring the other thing that can't be kept in the cabins. An animal! I wish I could do two voices to do these two at the same time, but yeah, synchronize, boyfriends. Deduction boyfriends, go. Eek! Smuggled animal. Salt. I mean, you could do Alexis join me for the deduction face-off screens, but as we've seen, it seems to make the game very crash-prone, so it might be a whole thing. But I mean, it could help with us talking through the crashes. But anyway, not to jinx it by mentioning the crashes again for like the billionth time on this not even 1 hour stream yet, Jesus. So you're actually Grimsby Roylott. It's not my real name. In fact, I don't think it's anyone's real name. I mean, it might be someone's real name. It just sounds like a villain character. It just sounds like this character in the Ace Attorney game. Okay. Nikomina Borchevich, that's as you say. You know what? I take that back. No one will ever be as much of an Ace Attorney character name as Larry Butts. You disappeared from the ballet school mid-performance in order to flee Russia. And last night, you stealthily made your way aboard this ship. Stealthily? The SS St. Clair is a colossal steamship. Is it even possible to board this ship without anyone noticing? Oh, if I jinxed it, how dare. He's just taking a very long dramatic pause. Don't worry, everybody. I'm just gonna do a save. Going to the save screen unfroze him. Good, 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 good. He's like, oh, what's that? You're gonna save him quick? No, I'm back now. You usually disguise yourself as an old man in hopes of hiding your true identity. And you decide to chop off that long blonde hair of yours along with the rest of your past. Activating TV antenna technique. Oh. However, a woman's hair is her crowning glory. It's precious not to be considered her life. Shut up, Holmes, you sexist. If it were me, I would refuse to cut it off and struggle to find another way. Holmes is like, listen, your hair's pretty. If I had hair that pretty, I'd have gotten a hairnet on that wig. Kept that pretty hair. I wish I had hair that pretty, says Holmes. For me, I would have refused to cut it off and struggle to find another way. But if that's the case, then what was that distressed cry we all heard coming from this cabin? Why, the distressed yet beautiful, bell-like peal of this young, lovely lady's cries. Naturally. That was one little bell, then. Oh. I escaped from Shanghai in fear. I know they search for me. I put on disguise so no one can find me. And you ended up taking on the role of a fairly suspicious old man, I see. Safety save. Come back to me, game. I believe in you. I can't clap because I've got to press the buttons. I mean, I can't clap. Come on. Game. Oh my god, that worked. What? I mean, it gave me a frame. It gave me a frame of change. Please buffer more. After I put on beard and hat, I saw a newspaper. Inside was my picture. Come on, please. Okay, it's not completely crashing, it's just like really slow frame rate right now. I don't know. Inside was my picture. I'm just gonna wait until the text appears on the screen for y'all to read it. I was so scared I shouted without thinking. If I do no more than change appearance, do more to change appearance, they will find me. I knew I need to cut off my hair, so I grabbed scissors. And it's precisely that moment we entered the cabin. My every safety save unfreezes the game. It's just like, I think it's just like the frame rate's very low right now, so it's only buffering on new images, so like going in to save the game does make it buffer like a different image. So that helps in a weird way. Okay. So we're not crashing, we're just lagging. Sorry everybody. I suppose circumstances like these really do happen every once in a while. Indubitably, such as the current situation. This is a lot more confusing than it needs to be. Excuse me, Nikumina, but there is one last thing I would like to ask. Just what is it that you've been hiding in that trunk? Inside, my precious friend hides. Please, please keep secret from Captain, sailors, everyone. Well, I suppose that's fine, however. Only if you speak with us of the events that transpired last night, understood? Yes, I am talking. So what do you think, Naruhodo? We were able to witness the great deductions of Sherlock Holmes firsthand. To be perfectly honest, I think I'm still a little confused over which part of this is a great deduction. At any rate, at least we can hear what Nikomina has to say now. That's amazing. That's right, it certainly is quite amazing. That's right, I almost forgot about you. Yeah, what is it? Take a look at your hands again! My hands. Ah! The handcuffs! They're back on again! Sherlock has a talent for removing and adding handcuffs to people without them noticing as he slips them on or off. Which, you know, it seems like the kind of thing you probably have to practice a lot. I don't know. I'm sure it's entirely for policing purposes. And definitely not, like... this... how? As promised, I put them right back where they belonged in a jiffy. Why did he even do... when did he even do that? The suspicions cast upon you have not yet been considered cleared after all. We don't have much choice in the matter. I hope you understand. I suppose. Do we really not? Can you just let me go? At any rate, we want to hear what, at least we hear what Nikomina has to say. This whole deduction so far hasn't brought us any closer to figuring out what happened to Kazuma. We just spent some time figuring out this Russian refugee girl has disguised herself as an old man to flee the country. Which doesn't seem like the best use of our time to harass someone who's on the run. Personally speaking, I'm curious about this mysterious speckled bandit Kazuma witnessed. So I take it you're aware that a murder occurred in the cabin next door? There's a few characters in the game that seem like they make a better ninja than what they actually are supposed to be. Yes, sailors tell me during breakfast. The one who died was our friend. The game, the stream froze and wouldn't say the word friend because it knows in its heart. The video stream knows that Naruhodo and Kazuma were more than friends. Clearly. Safety save. Well, we managed to get through the first deduction part. Oh, there we go. We have a frame. Can I have some more frames? Come on, Wi-Fi, give me some frames. Wi-Fi, give us some frames. We'll push on in mystery. Well, I got about an hour in, but we had like about 5 minutes of it crashing at the start, so I want to go on for a little bit longer with it not crashing, hopefully. That would be nice. You know. Come on. Okay, so what have we learned so far in this mystery? Let's review our facts so far. This girl has boarded the ship and has heard about Kazuma dying, and maybe she'll say something relevant, but so far we've not quite seen the angle how this helps us. Ah, well. One moment, everybody. Resetting once more into the breach, etc. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, it's becoming like muscle memory to reset this. There's just a few steps to it. Nikumi certainly seemed surprised when we said the dudes are friends, so maybe it'll be worthwhile in the end. Who knows? On the topic of all detectives are bastards, let's see. I'm going to think of all the Ace Attorney detectives who are bastards while I wait for the my video feed to come back. Okay. Boop. I mean, Dick Gumshoe, he's a lovable but bumbling guy whose heart's in the right place. He's just not that smart, but like, you know, he helps out. He pinches in when it really counts. He helps the defense team when it's obvious that they're in the right and stuff. And he's able to look beyond his station as a police officer, and sometimes he'll even get discharged for it just to try and help out with that case. So, Detective Gumshoe is the propaganda idea of the friendly, bumbling police officer, I guess. It's like, don't worry, if the police haven't solved something, it's simply because they're incompetent. They are, however, very nice and doing their best. They're just not very competent, that's all. And when they're not competent, we'll cut their pay, so only the good paid ones will be the good ones are good deductions. Yeah, that's Gumshoe's whole thing. When we get to the year 2000, whatever, in this timeline, it'll just be constantly slashing the budget on Gumshoe eating. Very rude, Edgeworth. If you've played the other games, you know these jokes. If your first experience of Ace Attorney is to watch this stream, as it's unlikely, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, realistically, good cops get chewed up and spit. That's why he hasn't been in any new games. You know what? Here's my case for why Detective Gumshoe isn't a propaganda. It's because he's not in a new trilogy. Because he is the one example of a good cop, which means he's already been fired. Because that's what happens to good cops. No, but he absolutely gets like spit up and chew out. But like the game always like throws him a bone of him like being able to like bounce back and like be rehired by the department. Even though realistically, he probably wouldn't be. He never does like excessive force or something. As far as I know, it's all about him like helping the defense team of why he gets ire from his department. But it says successfully connected, but I'm looking at a white screen and I don't believe that, NTR viewer. Yeah, okay, reset again. Boop. Sorry, I almost got it going. Yeah. Who's the cop in this one? The detective in this one, rather. I mean, we've got a whole smorgasbord. I don't know what that word means exactly. I hear American TV sometimes. I'm very sorry if it's something specific. But we have a whole fuckload of detectives in this game. That's fair. No one's offended by me saying fuckload, right? I don't fucking know. I just this is my substitute for my lack of language. You know, my parents were like, if you swear too much, you won't have good language skills. And I'm like, I don't need to have good language skills. I'll just swear when I don't know what word to say. But yeah, so there's a metric fuckload of detectives in this game specifically. We have Hosonaga, who we had in the first case, and we've got Sherlock Holmes here, who's in this case. And we'll be seeing more of throughout this little mini-series of, like, Ace Attorney meets Sherlock Holmes, you know. And there's also an actual cop detective who we'll get to. I think he's in the next case or the one after it. When we finally get to England, there's like another one who you may recognize from Holmes' lore. Who, yeah, we'll see. If we ever get there, if it stops crashing and we can finish the second case, we'll get there one day. I bet on it. Yeah. Hosonaga is just a cop, but he seems to be like He seems to really be into going undercover. Like, he seems to, like, love that waiter thing so much. He just kept being, like, kept acting like a waiter even when he's not, like, undercover as a waiter anymore. And, like in the next game when he dresses up as a turtle, he just seems to be really into just vibing with turtle energy, you know? It seems like it should be like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. Vibing with turtle energy. That'd be an episode title. I don't know. Okay, good. We got visual. Holy shit. Back in the game. Here we go. Gonna try and play more of this. Just speak. Read the lines faster so it doesn't crash. Let's go. That is true. That's why we're trying to gather information right now, for his sake. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Something that sounded like a conversation or anything? Or the sound of a ship overtaken by a raging storm, or a huge explosion from the engine? I just launched you. You're not allowed to crash. I will shift you around like a TV antenna if I have to. 3DS, you're not allowed to crash. Just after I got the video feed going again. I will turn this into a let's play right now. I will turn this car around, mister. Here we go. There you go. I'm balancing on my leg again. The ancient technique has been performed. Oh, the sound of a huge explosion of the engine. I think everyone would have noticed something like that. Anyway, did you hear anything, Nikomina? I am knowing nothing. I was not thinking of anything but me. I am knowing nothing at all. I see. So you ran away from the Novovich Ballet Company, is that right? Yes. I go to Great British Empire. From there I board ferry to America. I am done with ballet. I want to start a new life. You say you're done with ballet, but you still decide to bring that tiara along. Tiara is mine. I need tiara to live. I make no money from ballet group. I get only food and water. From country to country, only dance all day. I had to run, to protect self. Tiara is medicine to Nikomina. Tiara is love, Tiara is life. So you chose to take asylum, right? Sailors on the ship are my friends. They let me on board, gave me an empty cabin. But if that's the case, there's still one thing that doesn't quite fit. Yes, I see it too, Mr. Holmes. What do you think, Naruhodo? Oh, yes, of course. We should ask Nikomina about that. I have no idea what they're talking about. Let's look at friend first, since he doesn't seem to know. So Nikomina's friend is in the trunk. But this ship forbids animals from being brought aboard. Please, keep secret. Do not tell anyone on ship. If they find out, then those brawny Russian sailors will grab that trunk and throw it into the sea. Eek! You're so mean, Mr. Holmes. So, this friend, is that a puppy, perhaps? Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Huh, you think Russia had adorable little rabbits bouncing around the tundra? I don't know that Russia doesn't have rabbits bouncing around the tundra, so I'm gonna assume they do. Leave me alone, Holmes. Huh? You mean they don't? I'm assuming not. But how should I know? Oh, Holmes is just being an asshole again. Right. Near if you're even close to the mark. By French, you must mean. I've got it. If Fetch has a doubt, it must be a chicken. A chicken? Well then, just think about it. It wakes you up in the morning with its loud crow and it lays eggs every day. And if push comes to shove, you can just roast it up and have a nice little meal, right? Something tells me you're not exactly treating that chicken as a pet, as a friend. Well, after all is said and done, the fact remains that the identity of our friend is unknown. Ah ha 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 ha. I knew it. She's still wary of us. Still, I think there's something I should be showing Nikomina. I'm not sure exactly what, though. May I inquire one thing? According to this article... Oh. Yes, you only just disappeared yesterday. Oh, they're about to address the thing Erica brought up, but the thing's phasing again. So that means... the only time you could board the ship was last night. However, the SSL player did not weigh anchor at harbour last night. Ooh, saucy. Ah, doubt you mention it. So, how in the world did you manage to board this ship? Come to think of it, the sailor in the hallway was behaving a little strangely, wasn't he? It was after we asked him when Mr. Violet had boarded. You're not needing that information. That's what he said, if I remember right. If I remember right. She used her ballerina powers to teleport onto the ship without it stopping. Oh wait. This is actually gonna be gracefully descending onto the stage like a snow white angel. What was that all about? It's about me. It was written in the future of you in Russian newspaper. I am gracefully descending onto ship too. I am Angel after all. She really did use her ballerina powers. That's the excuse she's going with. That's quite the groundbreaking claim you're making, considering your limited English. Hey, it's groundbreaking no matter what language it is. She's saying she's fucking jumped on this bitch. I wonder if all Westerners as boldly spoken as Mr. Holmes and young Nikomina are. Like a god amongst men, he gracefully takes in his knowledge of the world. He's talking about himself. The game refuses. The game stream refuses to fully display this text box. He gracefully takes in the god amongst men. That's me, Sherlock Holmes, dickhead. They have written such things about me as well. I knew he was talking about himself. But in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, that's a serialized, exaggerated novel. At any rate, she doesn't look like she has any intention of telling us the truth of how she got on board. Seems like we may need to show her something. Safety save first. Gotta do a safety save every 5 minutes. Next time this rig crashes, I'll leave this off, I guess. Let's see, what should I show her? I'm using the Corvette, not the present button. Oh yeah. Okay. Can you please give this a look? I am knowing nothing. I am knowing nothing. That's enough, Naruhodo. You're obviously scaring her. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to frighten her. This is a journal that belonged to my friend who passed away. Journal? He wrote about seeing something last night and we were curious about it. 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight, I heard it sound like a low whistle. And then, 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speckled band at the air duct. Speckled band? The cabin's air duct is linked to the cabin next door. You can see it right up there. In other words, the cabin and the victim's cabin are connected. Ah. Oh. Nikomina, do you know anything at all about this? About the little whistle the victim heard or anything at this speckled band? No. I am knowing nothing. I see. Oh. Please excuse me, I need a moment, Mr. Roylott. Ahem, what is it? How'd you do that so fast? The captain wants to talk with you about something. Please go to the captain's quarters as soon as possible. Understood. We'll come at once. What is it? Do not ask me that. You must leave now. Ah, please don't worry about us. We'll be fine, Mr. Roylott. Quit playing! You heard him. Get out or I throw you out myself. Looks like we won't be able to continue inspecting the cabin right now. Ugh. This is quite unfortunate. And just like that, we were forcefully removed from the cabin. I mean, having a second to investigate before thrown out of the room. Quite literally thrown out. To be continued. Oh wow, we managed to make it all the way to the to be continued screen. This might be a good spot to leave it off at, actually. Alright, we managed to get through our first deduction section. It was very, 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 very crash prone. But we got through it. And I think there's only going to be like one more in this case. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. So we'll have more deductions next time, more Sherlock Holmes, more Naruhodo trying to figure out what the hell happened to his boyfriend. So yeah, to be continued as the game says. I'll see you all next time on the girlfriend quest. I mean, she was apparently a pretty magical one at that, I'll give her that. Bye everybody, catch you next time. Oh, and check out our links in the description below and whatnot for links to our YouTube channel, for our archive, and supporting Alexis and stuff. Alright, see you next time, bye! Well, next time, it's Eternity Chronological, whatever. I need to invent an actual sign off for this. But yes, as the chronology of Eternity continues. No, that's not it. I'll come back to it next time. But yes, see you, bye.